Hey guys, welcome. I'm Katie. I'm adding up Addingtons, and today we're on quite an adventure. I'm in the Atlanta airport with Elyonah, and Declan and Kavannah are taking a ride down the moving sidewalk back there. We are en route to the North Country for my brother's wedding. We left home at 6:30 this morning to drive to Atlanta. Now we gotta fly to Minneapolis. And yeah, I am a sweaty, hot mess from wearing a face mask all the way through here, but I do appreciate that everybody in the airport is wearing a face mask. But I've got baby bag and suitcase. I'm just hot. It's hot. Alright, so stick around with us. Here we go. Alright, I'm going to try to throw in a few tips for traveling with kids here, because this trip had a little bit of everything. There was driving and flying and staying in hotels and staying in other people's houses. So I'm just going to throw some in. If you have other questions about traveling with kids, please leave those in the comments, because there are plenty of ones, I'm sure, that I would use. First of all, I love our kids matching the luggage here. We actually have an animal assigned to all 8 kids, and even the ones who are too little to read can identify their own language. So those are just really super helpful. They're kid-sized, so they're not too heavy for them to hold.
What are you doing?
And
going on an airplane.
Are you on the airplane? Are you on the airplane? We made it.
Having you on board is a privilege we work to earn every day, in good times and especially during these challenging times. Today and always, we appreciate you choosing to fly with us. We could not be prouder to serve you.
Right, obviously, I love my baby carrier in airports. You can gate check a stroller and take it all the way through if you want. I prefer my carrier just because I like having my hands free. I'll link my one I'm wearing in this video below as well. One thing I was really glad I did with the kids was to practice wearing their masks in the week before this trip. So if you are traveling with kids during this pandemic era, that was something I was really glad we did, was to practice wearing those masks, because they did have to wear them throughout the flight unless they were eating. I made sure to get coffee in the airport, because snack and drink selections on flights right now are pretty limited. And even though we don't do a whole lot of screen time at home, the airplane is definitely the time to relax that rule. The baby, I made sure had a toy attached to her jammies that she could play with, and as always, snacks are a great distraction. Even if it's not at a normal mealtime, I let my babies have snacks on the airplanes. Another great thing that most airlines do is to let people with small kids on the airplane first, and then I usually wait to get off last, just so that we are not bumping into other people. It's a nice view, huh? And we stayed one night at my parents' house on this trip, and this brings me to my next tip, which is to let the kids do something normal if you can, even though it's in a new location and their schedules are way off track. Taking a break to let them play and do something normal is very, very helpful, whether that's swimming or here it's playing with trains. You might feel the need to do lots of special trip things, but the kids get a lot of comfort out of having something relatively normal to do. So while the rest of us were all madly packing for my brother's wedding, the kids were playing with the train sets.
Maybe need one more small curved piece. Stretch it out.
I want to make
And of course, books. Always books. Now here's why we made the trip at all. There's my baby brother, number 24 right there, the groom himself. Here comes Declan, was the ring bearer in the wedding. And Kavannah and her cousin Finley were the flower girls. This is why I had this particular combination of kids with me on this trip. And even though it was a short trip, it was very fun to play with cousins. I did get to see both of my brothers and my brother-in-law on this trip, and the kids enjoyed everybody's company. Here's Elyonah with cousin Sawyer. Here's a tip for staying in hotels with kids. I will pull towels out and throw them on the beds to contain crumbs. Always have extra snacks in the hotel. It's a great way to distract the kids, and they're not waiting for anybody else's schedule to get hungry. Pack and play, obviously, for the baby. Most hotels will provide these. This one was my parents', but always ask when you book a hotel. And yes, I forgot to record any of the actual wedding because I was busy watching it and enjoying. Here's my husband's brother, Chip, dancing with my kids during the reception. This is a great way to let kids burn off all the energy and attention that they've been keeping penned in all day because they are trying to behave themselves at the wedding. Let those guys dance it out. This trip was a grueling schedule for me as an adult. It was a tight timeline and a quick turnaround, and let me tell you, these kids did an amazing job. So here we are saying goodbye to the Minneapolis skyline as we're getting ready to board our flight home. Thanks for coming along on this trip with us. I hope you had fun. We sure did. Let me know what other questions you have in the comments down below, and I will try to get out some more tips for traveling with kids. Thanks. We'll see you next time.